Hello. This was not intended to be a vlog. That's why you just see my face, because of where I'm sitting. But I'm reading this book. Oh no. That time I got drunk and yeeted a love potion at a werewolf. And I think that you guys need to see my reaction as I read, because I thought, sure, this book might have some smut because it's a love story, but I also saw it in the fantasy section of the bookstore where, you know, the books are typically not smut-based, I assume. This is the horniest book I've ever read in my fucking life. Oh my god. Let me catch you up. Okay, so the book, sorry, I had to get somewhere where it was a bit easier to film. The book starts with Bree, our main character, who's a cheesemaker. She has a brother named Gouda. In a bar with her friend Cinnamon and Fallon, who's a dragon shifter. I skipped the first book, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I'm interested in it, but this one sounded a lot better, so I just started reading. So I am missing a lot of world building, because it seems like in the first book, humans and magical creatures were kept separate, and I guess humans didn't really know that magic existed. From what I'm gathering, I could be wrong. I don't know. So there's a lot of little hints to the first book, because even though this could work on a standalone, I am missing that world building, and I will say, like, that is not a fault of the book. That's all on me, and I willingly did this. So if there's something I don't understand world building wise, I'm not gonna be like, oh, the author is, you know, like, making a stupid thing up. Like, I understand that I don't know what's going on. Anyways, it seems interesting. Like, I probably will read the first book, but now I am expecting it to be very smutty. So, definitely not what I was expecting at all. Which is also why I didn't expect smut in this book, because the first one just sounded like a kind of cozy-ish fantasy with some romance. And sure, you could say, hey Claire, didn't you read the little content warning at the start of the book where it said light BDSM? Yeah, I did. I didn't expect fucking tentacles to come out of the ether. I don't know that word. Anyway, so it starts with Bree in a bar. This guy, Jack, or Jake, I forget, because I read this part a couple days ago, is kind of pressuring her to wed him so he can gain access to her farm, is what we are led to assume, so he can have more land, because they're neighbors. And she does not like this guy, and he's not giving up. He's being annoying, and I just wanted somebody to go boop, like flick him away. Anyways, so she kind of gets him to leave her alone, and she's hanging out with her friends, chatting, and then he comes back, and he's like, oh, have this drink. Please, have this drink. And she's like, no, fuck you. So she takes the drink and goes to throw it at him, but he ducks. And it hits some other dude in the head, and that guy turns around. It is our main love interest, Felix, the werewolf, and he looks at her, and he's immediately, like, hugging her and trying to kiss her, and there is a trigger warning or content warning for, like, dubious consent, because he is under the influence of a love potion. So, you know, I was expecting all of this as well. It makes sense within the world of the story, and it's not like he's actively trying to be a creep. It's just he has been put under a spell that is making him one. So, they find out that Jack was trying to love potion her so he could get the farm, and then a orc, question mark, I forget his name, and I probably wouldn't be able to pronounce it, so it's fine. Orc and Fallon the dragon are like, hey Jack, let's go talk to you outside. So they lead him away, and now Felix is with Cinnamon and Bree, sorry, like in love with her, and she's like, okay buddy, like, you're under a spell, and he's like, no, I imprinted on you. I can tell the difference between magic and imprinting. You're my soulmate. And she's like, sure, whatever you say. So she leaves and goes home, gets attacked by like an alligator thing, which I'm guessing is from the first book. Like, it's explained what those are more, because I was a little confused. But again, that might just be because I'm in the second book in a series that is more interconnected than I expected. So she gets saved by this beast with claws, and it's like she thinks she's being attacked by two things now. Turns out it's just Felix in his werewolf form, and she faints and wakes up the next day to clattering around her house. Why is my phone going off so much? Usually I'm not this popular. Anyways, so he is doing a bunch of chores in her house, and he's like, we're gonna have 10 kids. I need to fuck you. And she is like, whoa. No, you don't. And he like backs her up against a bookshelf at some point, and he's like, I see all the books you read. They're all romance, smutty werewolf books, and here I am, a slutty werewolf. 1 + 1 = 2. And she turns him down, and he respects her by running away, because he's like, I am going to ravish this woman if I don't get out of here. And then he goes and like rubs one out on the boat that he lives on, which I'm guessing again is part of the first book. Seems like a bunch of the magical creatures have come to this town on a boat, and they're all still kind of living on the boat because they haven't been ingrained in society yet. Humans are still like, you're a dragon and I am just a man, you know, which is fine. Interesting conflict there, but I guess they all kind of still live on the boat until they find, it seems like, mates to go live with. I don't know if the not monsters, like the mythical creatures can legally own land on their own. I don't really know. Anyways, and then this is when I realized, oh, this book is like going to be smutty, because why am I reading a book that looks like this? Let me pull it up. That looks like this. I don't know how to focus it better. And why am I reading the word cunt? Questions I didn't think I would have, because I didn't think it would be this smutty. I thought it would be more of a, like, cutesy little, oh, he's in love with her. Not, if he doesn't fuck her soon, he's gonna have a heart attack and die, quite literally. Which we'll get to. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch you up to speed to where I am in the book. So, Fallon and... Oh, sorry, we're still on the boat. We find out that single women in their 20s have been going missing. And Felix is like, but my Brie, my little lamb, is a single woman in her 20s. She's probably gonna go missing next. So he runs off to do something. We're in Brie's point of view. Fallon is reading a book of magical spells and about curses, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, if you don't fuck Felix, like, he could have a heart attack and die. Just so you know. Like, you're gambling with this man's life because you think he's not actually in love with you. But you might need to fuck him anyways. And she's like, but he can't technically consent because he's under a love potion, so I don't know if this is actually what he wants, which I like that. I like that she is hesitant to do it because of the dubious consent within the makeup of the story. And then she goes home and she's like, I'm gonna try these reversal spells. Like, young me, if she knew I was gonna practice magic, she would lose her mind, because she always believed in magic, and here it is being real, which is why it's led me to believe that humans and creatures were kept completely separate and didn't know about each other. So, again, I need to read the first book. You guys probably have. Or you haven't. I don't know. Anyways, so she goes to her house and she's passing her, like, little mailbox or whatever. Like, it has a sign with her last name, and she's like, wait a minute. That's not my last name. Also, since when were there yellow roses here? And then she goes into her house, and Felix is there, and he's like, my beloved lamb. Guess who's married? Us. So this man heard that single women in their 20s were being kidnapped or going missing, and he was like, the smartest thing for me to do is to go down to the courthouse with a few of my orc friends, because he was adopted by orcs, with a few of my orc friends, and we are just going to sign the marriage papers without her knowing. So it is technically a marriage of convenience story, which also was not hinted anywhere in the description, and is probably my biggest flaw. I have only really enjoyed one fake dating book, and that was Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. Probably not saying her last name right, I apologize. And even then, not my favorite trope. I really don't think I like it. Every other fake dating I have read since, I don't like. So, I'm a little iffy, but I can sort of forgive it in this book because of the love potion. This man is not right in the head. He is kind of overreacting to things to try and protect her because he is so in love with her. So I'm still on the fence with if I like this or not. Probably not. But I will say it makes more sense in this context than it does in, like, The Boyfriend Candidate, which I listened to on audio with my partner in January, and it was so stupid there. Why are you fake dating? Like, you're a whole ass politician. The fuck? Anyways, so in this, it actually makes sense for fake dating in this context, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. So, sorry, I'm getting a little bit of hiccups. We have the fake dating, like, we have the fake marriage, and then she's like, okay, well, we can do this until the potion wears off, because it's supposed to wear off in 2 weeks. And he's getting turned on because for some reason Bree decides to wear a house coat and nothing else, like literally nothing underneath, and it's, you know, tied together at her waist, but oh, it's such a flimsy little string. What were you, I'm sorry, were you trying to turn this man on more, even though you knew that if he got too horny, he could have a heart attack and die? Because I think you're trying to kill him. I think you're trying to kill Felix. So, Felix is horny as fuck. And she's like, well, we can keep having sex as plan B, but plan A is I'm going to try all these spells to release this curse. And he's like, it's not the love potion, my lamb. I am your mate. Like, I've imprinted on you. I can tell the difference. So she tries these potions, not potions, spells to try and erase the potion. That's what I was trying to say. They don't work. And then, I don't really know what happened. And I've read the page like 2 or 3 times, trying to figure out what happens. I don't know if it is her who summons this, or him. But Bree or Felix, one of them summons a tentacle beast from just the depths of what? I don't know. And the thing is, I thought she summoned it because she had just finished a spell, but he is in control of it, and it wraps around her, and this is the light BDSM that was in the content warning, and he is, like, manipulating the tentacles to, like, hold her back, and flick her nipples, and they're easily accessible because she wore the skimpiest outfit possible, and no underwear. And that's where I stopped, because, excuse me, I was not expecting any of this, so I thought, let's bring you guys along with me, because, what am I reading? Genuinely, what am I, like, we are 33% of the way in. What's going on? I literally had just texted my cousin before this happened to be like, oh, look at this book I'm reading. Haha, isn't the title funny? was texting my boyfriend about this. And then I had to be like, oh, now there's tentacles. And what are they doing? They're wrapping around her titties. That poor man has to deal with so much because of me. First I introduced him to One Direction and now this. Come on. Anyways, so I just thought I would take you guys along for a bit more of this because I want to do more vlogs and I want to post more. So here you go. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's keep reading. Okay, hi. So I reread the part where the tentacles appear, and yeah, they just come out of the shadows of the room. And Felix is like, oh, maybe my want for this woman made them appear. Maybe her fantasies in all those romance novels she read, made them appear. So they just kind of show up. Anyways, let's read the scene. Okay, I'm rereading the sex scene. I had a shower and then I made dinner, which was just reheating soup, but I'm back. So she's like all strung up by this shadow creature. Also, I'm talking quietly because my parents are just downstairs and it is an open area, so who knows if they can hear me. They're gonna watch this, maybe. I hope not. Hi, Mom. If you are. Hi, Dad. Less likely. So Bree is like, I've read books with this scenario where, like, you know, the girl gets strung up, but usually it's by a Kraken shifter. And he's like, oh, is that a fantasy of yours? And now he's playing to it. Sir. He's like, would you like that? Did your Kraken take you gentle and slow? And then he's like, or was he a feral beast? And I never thought I would be reading tentacle porn in a book about a werewolf, but I guess there's the first time for everything. And that is right now, so. He just sniffed her pussy. What is this? The love hypothesis? Jesus. So he has her suspended with these tentacles, and he's like, I've been dreaming, like, I've been thinking about this since I first saw you, like, I haven't even slept. And she's like, what? You need sleep. Ma'am, he is so horny that if he does not fuck you right now, he's gonna die of a heart attack. I don't think sleep is high on his priority list. Just saying. So this man is like, oh, I don't usually tie women up. First off, you've told me that you have hardly ever been with a woman because there were not many in your homeland. Second, these tentacles just spawned out of nowhere. No shit, you don't really know how to tie a woman up properly. These are helping you. You're just, I don't know, brain power moving them. They're just responding to what they think you want, I guess. I have so many questions. I just thought I would take you along with me as I update my Goodreads. I am 34% of the way in. Why am I reading tentacle porn in my werewolf book? Question mark. Let me fix the word and, because that's two N's. That's not what that's supposed to say. Why am I reading tentacle porn in my werewolf book? Update progress. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't want it to seem like I am yucking someone's yum, but from like a plot perspective, why are you fucking her with the tentacles if the fact that you are not fucking this woman could send you into cardiac arrest? Why are the tentacles doing the job for you, sir? Put your penis in her. The whole point of this was you were gonna have a heart attack. Why are you not the one fucking her? Also, he can make the tentacles wider. That's really weird. I'm sorry, I'm yucking someone's yum, but Felix, Maybe, like, stop your impending heart attack. Just a thought. Okay, so I was just eating my soup. And not to sound uncultured. What the fuck is a knot? And why can't Brie take it? But she can take your size-changing tentacles. I really love reading on the Kobo app because my screen has been like this despite me closing and opening the app several times because it just is taking forever to load. Why are you loading? You're downloaded. What are you doing? Kobo, get your shit together. Please, like, stop embarrassing Canada. Sorry, we're still on the same, like, I am not getting far. The tentacles are also jacking him off. So, I get, like, here's the thing though. He couldn't jack himself off and, be okay. Like, that wouldn't get rid of the heart attack threat. So, does it count now that he is face deep inside of the core of a woman? I don't know. Also, my friend explained nodding to me because he Googled it. And right as I recorded that first video, as soon as I stopped and opened my phone back up, my mom popped up. Thankfully she didn't hear anything I said, but okay, I'm gonna try and finish this scene and then I will come back and film something just to let you know I finished it. I'm sorry, I am not done the chapter, but he is imagining he's imagining their life together. And that's what makes him come. Like, not even imagining, like, having sex with her for life, just imagining, like, slow dancing and the satisfaction of such a life sent me over the edge. Okay, Felix. Also, could you imagine saying Felix during sex? Like, I'm so sorry if anyone watching that is named Felix or dating someone named Felix, but, like, I just don't believe you got game. Okay, so the tentacles were the botched spell, but I guess he took over them. Maybe because Brie was saying the spell to him, I'm not too sure, but it is confirmed that that is what they are. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care about reading smut right now. But it seems like this book's gonna have a lot, so yay. It's not even a fucking, like, full phone page later, and they're already fucking again. It seems like his knot, which my friend explained, I don't remember if I said that, my friend explained it to me, because he Googled it. Anyways, I think his knot is in her now. Oh my god. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. Okay. So they fucked once. Like, they did it a lot, but it was, wow, I look so white. Sorry, they fucked once, but they did it a bunch of times within the same kind of time frame, and now Brie is like, oh no, I'm in love with him. He was quoting one of my favorite smutty romances while he fucked me. That's true love. Girl? No, it's not. And she's like, oh, his dick was life-changing. What did she say? I literally screenshotted it and sent it to my partner. Sorry. She says, okay, so that was probably a mistake. I said to the knight, Felix wasn't just a different dick. That was, I wasn't even sure what that was, but I wasn't sure how I was supposed to function in a polite society after. Brie, calm down. Okay? I get it, this is your first, like, mythical, magical creature, monster dick. Like, take it down a notch. Also, he did knot her. Already. I thought they were gonna have to build their way up to that. But no, he got it in there, and she was like, ooh, nice. So that's good for them, I guess. But now she's like, oh no, what if he only likes me because of the love potion and not because of me? Like, what if he's not my mate? Like, girl, you literally, I don't know how many times they had sex, but technically you went at it for like 1 session. You're not in love with him yet. Okay? And if you are, you're pretty fucking lucky, because technically you're married to him. So really, you could just say no to a divorce, and then the guy is yours. So gotcha. So Bree immediately goes to Cinnamon's house after all of their banging, and she's like, girl. And Cinnamon is like, you got some pretty good dick, didn't you? And Bree's like, yes, but now I have a problem, is I think I'm in love with the guy, and he might not even, like, know me, you know? Like, what if the spell wears off and he doesn't like me? And Cinnamon is like, well, obviously you like him, so why not just entertain it? This man is drugged. He is under the influence. Don't play with him like this. But whatever. So Bree is like, okay, but what if, when it wears off, he realizes that he doesn't like me? And Cinnamon is like, then you get hurt. Are you a psychopath? Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, that's like the worst advice you could ever give. Oh, I know that you don't want to get hurt, and like that's why you don't fall in love and date people, is because you're scared of, you know, commitment and the pain that might come with it. But date the guy who might not love you at all and might be repulsed by you when the spell wears off. It's fine. Girl, this is not exposure therapy. These are people's lives. The hell? So Bree leaves Cinnamon's house, and suddenly outside in the forest that she has to go through to get back to her place, it smells like a dead animal. And she's like, that's weird. I didn't smell that on my way here. But it's fine, I'll just keep walking. Get back inside of that fucking house, you weirdo. And then something goes, help me. Help me. Oh, disgusting. Why is this book creeping me out? I just read about nodding. I shouldn't be scared. And then, but this is one of my favorite lines so far. Help me, the thing called again, sounding an awful lot like none of my business. Thank you. Thank you, Bree, for not walking into the forest going, oh no, I should help this person. Especially because she just found out that 3 villagers have gone missing, one of which is one of her best friends. And there's going to be like a search operation tomorrow. I fully expected her to be like, oh, that might be one of the girls, and to go investigate. So I'm really happy that she is booking it in the opposite direction. I hate dark forests at night. Will not catch me in one willingly. Ugh. Anyways, my favorite part about the search party is Cinnamon was like, oh, you should ask Felix if he can help out, because he's a werewolf and he is super sniffing. Girlie, what makes you think this man is going to be able to not fuck long enough to help? Just wondering. So Felix saves her from the creature in the woods. It is a familiar, I believe. Something controlled by a witch that has a crystal gem thing in its body. Anyways, so they're like, oh, we need to go tell Fallon about this. He'll be able to track it. Probably has something to do with our missing women. And then fucking Felix calls Bree his wife in front of Cinnamon and Fallon, and Cinnamon is like, you didn't tell me you got married? And Bree is like, we have more important things to talk about. And Cinnamon is like, more important than my best friend getting married without telling me? And now they're arguing about marriage. Like, you guys do not have time for this. You really don't. And I don't have the patience. Fucking move it along, folks. Like, I'm sorry. There was just a creepy ass thing in the woods, and now you're arguing about marriage. Do you not see that fucking Felix is covered in blood? Like, why are you not focused on all of these very obvious signs that something has gone wrong? And instead you're like, oh, Felix got married without your permission and without you even knowing, like, he married you guys? Why didn't you tell me? You were here, like, and I'm your best friend. Shut the fuck up, Cinnamon. This is not about you. People are missing and weird things are in the forest. Shut up. Sorry, the thing that attacked her was a ghoul. I'm putting this clip in because I don't think I will remember to edit that. So, you still don't know where the tentacles came from. Let's see. Felix is talking about dragon lords because Fallon is like the dragon lord of the village that they live in. And I guess Bree didn't know that. And she asks, are rampaging kraken common? Once she finds out that Fallon is kind of supposed to protect from any bad creatures. And Felix is like, occasionally, who knows what set off those overgrown squid. Great, awesome. First deer ghouls and crazy kidnappers and now kraken. Like, where did they come from? Are these different krakens? Like, what's going on? Where did the tentacles come from? That's all I really care about. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care about the plot. Because there was nothing in the description to indicate that there would be, like, a kidnapping plot. It just seemed like it was going to be, you know, Felix following her around like a love-struck puppy and her being like, I'm a cheesemaker and you're lactose intolerant. Can we ever be in love? But instead it just has all of this extra stuff that I don't care about. Because I don't know, I hate mysteries. I find mystery books interesting, but anytime I'm watching a true crime show or a true crime documentary with my mom, if it's not like 45 minutes long, like, I need to know who it is. I think I don't know the last time I read a mystery book actually, but I would bet money that if there was any kind of mystery in any book, I was reading reviews before I was done the book. Because I don't know, I like knowing. And I find for me it doesn't cheapen it. Oh yeah, because I read this book called, I forget what it's called actually. Let me see. It was a middle grade mystery set in a fantasy like school. It was actually pretty good. Let's see. Deep Haven by Ethan M. Aldridge. I would suggest that for people, but I was in the reviews of that book trying to figure out what was going on before I was even that far into it, you know? And I think part of that was because there was a scene where a character could get in trouble, and I don't like when characters get in trouble. I like to know how that's resolved. But also, like, there was a mystery being presented, and I was nosy. Not nosy enough to read faster, so I spoiled it. But, like, you know, like, I just don't care. I just wanted, like, a nice cozy little thing, and instead I'm getting tentacle porn and missing women. And I'm gonna finish it, but I am maybe not the intended audience for this book. So, let's see how it goes. Alrighty, so it is getting late, and I am having such bad acid reflux. So I'm gonna go take my handful of Tums, because male doctors keep telling me that my regular acid reflux pills are too dangerous and I'm too young to be taking them, so I take 5 to 7 Tums a night so I don't wake up choking on my stomach acid. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'm gonna read in bed, so you will not get an update until tomorrow, because I'm not filming in bed. So I shall see you tomorrow. So I didn't really read last night, but I'm reading now. So Felix and Bree are gonna go on a date. They're gonna go rowboating, and it's raining, so they can't go rowboating. So Felix's solution is, oh, I'm gonna go talk to a dragon, because some dragons can control the weather, and I'm going to have him turn the rain off. Okay. You could just fuck instead, or whatever. Like, let's just get the smut scenes out of the way, because I don't care about them. So, thank you for changing that. Anyways, he finds the dragon. The dragon is like, well, if I do this for you, you have to do something for me. And he's like, ugh, fine, I'll do something for you. What do you want? And the dragon's like, I want 3 pies. Just 3 lemon meringue pies, please. All horned creatures are banned from the shop, so I can't get them myself. Bro, what? That's so stupid. I'm sorry, that's so stupid. Really? Anyways, so now I guess we're gonna go get some pies. Hey, so I'm about 60%, like just under 60% of the way down the book. Felix and Bree have just gone on a paddle boat date that they're now going to bang during. It is in a field with flowers, which is what's on the cover. So I'm assuming that's where the inspiration for that came from. Anyways, Bree is now convinced she's in love with Felix because he's imagining their life together. And she's like, oh wow, like he's imagining a life with me, and you know, like I've never had that with a guy before. Yeah, you know why he's fucking imagining this? Because he has a love potion messing with his brain. Like, I know how books like this work, so I know he's going to be her love interest. And he has, like, she is his fated mate. And it's going to be happily ever after. But everyone keeps forgetting that he has a love potion. And they're like, oh yeah, like, it's, like, Bree is like, oh yeah, like, I could have a future with this guy. No, keep being careful, because the love potion is gonna wear off, and that's probably gonna be your stupid 3rd act breakup. And there's still the mystery. Like, why do we have this mystery in the book if we're not really gonna focus on it? Like, I don't care about any of the people who got kidnapped, and maybe that is because I didn't read the first book, but also the book doesn't care about them. The book does not give a flying fuck about these missing women. So why should I? So, I don't know. I feel like this book should have just been a straight up romance, no mystery, like smut and nothing else. Because I feel like that's what the author wanted it to be, and that's fine. I've read some books where it's like I just want it to be like a quick romance. I have gotten to that stage where I'm not looking for spoilers, but I'm looking for reasons to be interested. So I went on Goodreads and I saw a review that said, a giant lobster god, and I really hope that that appears soon, because I have so many questions and I'm intrigued about that. But the premise of this book is definitely not like I thought it would be based off the back. I thought it would be like Felix is in love with her and he's doing all these quirky little things to try and get her to fall too, instead of like tentacle porn. So let's go meet a lobster god. Hope it's not far away. Okay, so I was going to talk to you guys about Bree realizing she was in love with him, and then they banged. But now, more importantly, none of that matters. There's a talking sword. I've only made it to the part where she goes, up where the sword goes, I'd shake your hand, but alas, I am but a sword. I've only made it that far. Sorry. What the hell is going on? Why is there a talking sword? Okay, so the talking sword knows where the cult is that's stealing all of the missing girls, but it refuses to talk unless, and I quote, "You bring me to a beach with mermen so I can party with them." Well, I'm not quoting directly because I did not memorize it, but that's the sword's demands. And they're like, no, just you're gonna tell us. And the sword is like, actually, I want to watch half-naked men run around like nature intended. Bitch, you don't have eyes. What watching are you going to be doing? Sin, Bree, and the Sword are now talking about monster dick, essentially. And the Sword, who does not have eyes, is like, ooh, draw me a picture. I want to see. What fucking eyes? You don't have fucking eyeballs. You can't see. Okay, so Bree just got kidnapped by the cult. They were trying to get Cinnamon because she is the dragon's mate and has magic. So their spell is not complete because they don't have enough power for it. They keep talking, so the cult wants to bring back a god because after the events of the first book in which the god of the world, oh my god, the god of the world gets exposed as a fake and then killed, I'm guessing. They're like, oh, now women think that they have rights, and that's gross. So we're gonna raise a new god, and then we're gonna get wives and caregivers. And the talking sword is there, and the talking sword is now arguing with one of the cult members, and she's like, you need to get therapy. Like, did your mom say that you were special and then your crush disagreed? Like, good God, dude, get therapy and don't join a cult. Which, like, fair enough, but also, like, this is so it's so stupid. Like, we don't need, like, that's something that you say to weird men on Twitter, not, you know, a talking sword to a cult member in your fantasy book. So, also, sorry, could you imagine being in a cult and arguing with a fucking sword? So with the help of the talking sword, the girls are all cut down. Nobody's left watching them, and they all have some form of weapon on them. Like, for some of them, it's like a hairpin or a needle. And then somebody just pulls a full-on fucking axe out of her skirt. What? What? Really? Like, really? Okay. And really, the sword being there, like, it was just on the ground. You're really saying that the guy didn't go, the guy that the sword was arguing with didn't go, I'm gonna take this with me and I'm gonna burn it or melt it down because it's annoying as fuck. And it is hurting my fragile masculinity. Like, what the fuck is going on? The god that they are trying to raise, it's a lobster. A lobster god. Also, these guys don't like monsters. They're like, ugh, monsters are walking among us and that's bad because humans are better and blah 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 blah. Why are you trying to raise a god then? Same fucking thing. It just looks like a lobster. The lobster is trying to get Bree to host it because it is whatever was the bad thing in Mava in the first book. Why it's a lobster, I don't know. Bree tried asking and it didn't answer, but I like that it is an ocean critter. Do I care about what's happening in this book right now? No. So oh my god. So the parasite lobster thing is like, what do you want most in this world? Knowledge, because it sees that she likes books in her mind, because it's in her mind, and then it starts like looking at her memories of all of these books and they're all just smut. And what is the line? The thing shrank back disgusted. The waves of memories ceased for a moment before it recovered and took hold of my mind once more. And it's just... it couldn't handle the smut books. Oh my god. So... she's like, hey, do you still want to know what I want? Because I think I've got something in mind. And the parasite is like, I'm terrified to ask. And she says, have you ever heard of the Omega-verse? If I become your vessel, maybe we can make that a real thing. Is she going to defeat this thing by talking about nodding? I sure as fuck hope not. This bitch is about to defeat this god by talking about fucking Mpreg and nodding. Oh my... Huh? So, Felix is in werewolf form and he bites her. And then we go to the next chapter and it's not really addressed at all. Just that he's avoiding her because she had an antidote to the love potion and now he is not love potioned up. Also, they're eating the giant lobster in their mac and cheese. So the book ends with Bree finding out, oh, I am his fated mate, and it's fine that I'm going to be a werewolf now because I love him. And then the epilogue is told in a different character's point of view. It's a dragon, the weather dragon. Because I'm assuming he is going to be the love interest of the next book. So I'm going to go to sleep, get all the content off my camera so I can film a little end of thought section because there's not enough space. And then, yeah, the video will be complete. Interested to see what I think of this book after sleeping on it because yeah. Hello. So I slept on the book. I thought about it. And then I rewatched my video to remember what I thought about it because I've tried filming this a few times and I don't know. I wish that the book had been what the back promised, which was just this guy is hit with a love potion and now he's just constantly in this girl's life, and it kind of was that, but the mystery with the lobster god kind of threw it off because throughout the book, despite friends of the main characters going missing, it was not a big enough plot point. It wasn't a big enough concern for the characters. And like, I get that you're writing a romance, so you want that to be like the main focus, but if you're adding all of this extra plot in the background, like, you know, my main character should not be going, oh no, my best friend's been kidnapped and I'm horribly worried, to, oh yeah, like, does Dragon Dick also have knots? Or is that just werewolves in the span of the same chapter? You know, like, I need more variety here. Like, I need them to either go, oh no, this is a very serious thing, these girls are missing, or penis. I can't have both. I don't know if I'm gonna read the first book anytime soon, just because this book just wasn't for me. I'm glad I read it. It was fun texting my reactions to my partner. He enjoys when I do that, hopefully. If he doesn't, he hasn't told me. But yeah, I don't know. I also think, like, the way that they got out of the thing at the end, like, all of the girls were strung up, and somehow Bree got the sword from the ground, which, why was it left there, swung it up into someone's mouth, and then that person proceeded to cut Bree down so she could cut them all out. And, like, no one was watching these girls who were very, very important to getting that god free. So, like, why was no one watching them? Why did they all have weapons on them? Like, they were all just pulling weapons out of their hair. Like, okay, clips, I get. Maybe the men in this world don't think that hair clips are dangerous, but somebody had a fucking axe in her skirt. Like, come on, you're really telling me nobody, like, frisked them? Like, what? And then I think I forgot to film a thing about this, even though I literally just rewatched my video. I don't remember if I commented on it, but Felix in the end battle, like, sees Bree getting choked, so he kills the guy and then bites her to turn her into a werewolf. First off, we don't, like, get anything from that. We just know she's bitten and he's trying to find a reversal in the very end. And then she's like, well, am I your fated mate? I am? Okay, then it's fine. Like, I'll be a werewolf with you. But, you know, like, this is changing her whole life. we don't see her transform. Like, there's nothing with Bree that indicates, oh yeah, like, I've been bitten, besides, like, she has a bite mark. You know, like, I feel like I wish there had been a bit more with that. She was too casual about it. The book really just glossed over the fact that she was bitten. It was nice that he was trying to find a reversal because he didn't do it with her consent. Because this book did try, despite the plot. By the way, if you can hear noises in the background, my mom is just making a dinner. Sound travels. Anyways, so where was I? Yeah, like, it tried to really kind of be like, consent is a good thing to have, despite the plot being like, this man is severely drugged and she has to fuck him, which is fine. But it's also like, the characters just kind of kept forgetting that he was under a spell, because they were like, you know, Cinnamon would be like, oh my god, obviously he likes you. Like, yeah, no shit, Cinnamon. He was hit with a fucking love potion. That's why he's acting this way. Like, I know because it's a romance book, it's going to be the fact that, yes, they are actually fated mates, but Cinnamon, babes, you don't know that you're in a romance novel. You don't know that that's what's gonna happen. So really, encouraging Bree to play along with this relationship was not smart on her part, because it's like, your friend could just get hurt, and now here she is, like, playing with this guy's emotions, and like, taking, like, it is taking advantage of him, because she's taking advantage of this drugged state where he is not genuinely consenting to any of this. Sure, she had to sleep with him to stop his heart attack. Okay, I can accept that. It was a bit weird, but I guess the author had to get them to sleep together somehow. Because, like, why else? Oh, that did not help. Why else would they sleep together? So, like, okay, sure, I can buy that she slept with him because of the heart attack. I do not buy that she then goes on dates with him because, oh, well, what if he actually does like me? Like, there was no reason for Bree to be thinking that with the context of the story. I think it would have been better if she had waited to actually be like, oh, well, I'll act all romantic with this guy for when he's not under the influence anymore. And I wish the other characters had encouraged her not to. Could have even been better if they were like, I mean, he's drugged, and if she was like, oh, that's fine, I'll just have fun. Like, I don't know why everyone around her was kind of encouraging it, because that was really weird. I also wish that, like, we had seen more of Bree being a cheese maker. Like, it's fine if you, as the author, don't know anything about cheese making. It's a fantasy land. Make something up, you know? But, like, from the description, it made it seem like her being a cheesemaker and him being lactose intolerant was going to be a much bigger problem, but there was only one scene in the beginning where she made him a grilled cheese sandwich, and he was like, oh, yum, okay, now I have to go shit myself in the woods, see you later, you know, like, that was it. I think they brought up, like, cheese making one more time, where she was like, if I get changed, will, you know, I be lactose intolerant? And he was like, no, I think, because you start out human, so you're not going to be like a full werewolf or whatever. But, you know, like, that's her whole job, and we hardly hear about it. Also, in the beginning, Bree is there's this guy Jack who keeps, you know, coming onto her, and she's like, you need to stop, like, you're pushing these boundaries. She likes that Felix is pushing her boundaries, even though it's pretty much the same thing Jack was doing, just a lot more sexual. Because Jack, it was indicated he was only doing it to get her farm, and here this guy is just, again, not under his own control because it's the love potion, but, you know, really coming onto her, like, in a very sexual manner, and suddenly it's hot and she likes it. And, like, I get that we have to have the villainous character in Jack, but, like, come on, really? Really? So, I don't know, I wish this book had been what I thought it would be, which is, like, a cute little cozy fantasy where it's building up the romance, and slowly she starts falling, and the main drama is the wonder of, are we actually going to be fated mates, and will he still feel this way? Because she just kind of glossed over the fact that that could have happened. It was like, okay, but I'll just enjoy it for now. Why? Why are you enjoying it for now? Like, just because of the weird heart attack rule? Like, come on, you don't need to go on a date with him in a rowboat. That was weird. But I guess how else were we gonna meet the horny talking sword? Which, speaking of the horny talking sword, I hope, genuinely, that there is a 4th book about the sword meeting a merman and falling in love. Like, I genuinely would read that so fast. I would buy a physical copy. I banned myself to only buying 6 physical books this year. That would be one of my 6. I want to read that book. I think it would be really funny. Anyways, but yeah, the characters were just too casual about things. They're like, you know, oh, Bree almost got attacked. Like, Bree got attacked by this thing, and this talking sword knows where the kidnapped girls are, but it's not telling us because it wants to go be horny at the beach. Let's start talking about our boyfriend's penises. Like, why are we doing this right now? That's stupid. We don't have time. Like, focus on one thing and not the other. I find it weird when books, you know, it's like, oh, my mom was just in a car crash, but I need to go have some girl talk with my best friend about my boyfriend's penis. Like, why are you doing this? Why is this, like, you know, somebody will be having this emotional moment, and then their friend will go, oh, you're in love. Where are you like, why are you focusing on this? Where are you getting this from? Stop it. Like, they just didn't feel like real people. It just felt like the author, you know, thought of an idea and then went, oh no, this isn't interesting enough, because she didn't use the story in a way that would have been beneficial. Because there could have been so much drama in this story as is. Like, she could have completely scrapped the missing girl plotline, completely scrapped the lobster, completely scrapped saving the world with the help of the Omegaverse. Unfortunately, all of that was in there. I think this could have just been about Felix and Bree and a love potion. And I think that's where it falls flat. But even then, like, once they started fucking the first time with the tentacles, which we still don't know where the tentacles came from. I don't know why they were there. You know, even then, I was already like, okay, really? Like, I was having fun with the book, and then, like, this guy got really horny, and I don't know, it wasn't a horny potion, it was a love potion. Like, there was no need for him to constantly be having a boner. And also Bree, and I hope this doesn't sound like, oh, I'm victim blaming, but Bree, why are you wearing the skimpiest possible piece of clothing you have? Why are you not wearing panties around this man, who you know is horny for you, in your house? While, like, he's obviously really turned on right now. Like, why are you encouraging this? Why are you trying to make it worse? Like, you know that if he does not fuck you, he's gonna have a heart attack, and here you are with, like, you know, a house coat on that's barely covering you. Like, what's with that? What, like, let's use our thinkers, please. So, yeah. I don't know. I can see why people like this book. I can see why they enjoy this series. Not that I've read the other books, but if they're like this one, like, you know, I can see why people would have fun with them, because they are fun. I guess I was not in the mood for that right now, because of what I thought the book would be, once again. But, you know, I can see why people would like them. I can see why they're popular. Like, they were self-published, and now they got picked up by a traditional publisher. Like, props to the author. I think her name is Kimberly. Let me double check. But, like, you know, props to her. That is pretty impressive. I'm happy that the covers are not hideous, because usually when traditional publishers pick up indie books, they fuck up the covers. I'm looking at you out on a limb. I'm sorry. Yes, Kimberly Lemming. Kimberly, like, congratulations. That's really impressive, and I applaud you. I just wish this book was a little different and more like the description. But again, that is also the fault of the publisher now, because they did not indicate any of this plot on the back. Like, if they had just shoehorned in something about the missing girls, like, you know, while all this is happening, girls are going missing, and Felix, like, feels like he needs to protect Bree. Like, it could have just been a line, and it would have been, you know, I would have had a warning, and it wouldn't have felt like you were trying to just shoehorn that in for more of a plot. Also, it was never addressed that he just like marries them. She's very chill about that very fast. Starts calling him her husband very fast. I feel like she should have been a bit more like freaked out or weirded out, because that is a very strange thing to do, is just marry someone without their permission. He had to go threaten people to get it done. Like, that's weird. Okay, Mr. Hardin Scott, like, that's something he would do. So, yeah. But, I don't know. Yeah, also, you can't convince me that a guy named Felix has abs, werewolf or not. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Felix, come on. Yeah. Maybe in werewolf form, but not when he's a human. I did find it kind of funny that when he was like werewolf, his tail would wag like a dog when he was excited. But I also am now forgetting, actually, if that happened while he was in human form, because I feel like I read it a few times. Does he have a tail all the time? Questions that need answers. But yeah, I guess not, because Bree never had a tail at the end, and I feel like that would be mentioned. Also, in the end, Bree does think that they're not fated mates for like 5 minutes, because this man is too holed up trying to find a cure, and they just don't talk. But it only lasts like half a chapter, not even like a page. And I'm also shocked that they didn't fuck in the end. I'm gonna be honest. Thank you, Kimberly, for not ending your book on a sex scene. Although the implication of the epilogue is that they're going to have sex in order to have a kid, because in the beginning, Felix made a dragon give him a rune so he can't get people pregnant, because he didn't want to risk getting Bree pregnant, which was good. It's nice that there's birth control in this universe. So he was getting that removed. So I assume that they're now going to have like 10 kids, because that's what he wants. And she's a werewolf now, so maybe it won't affect her as much as... Do they give birth to pups? Like, you know how a dog, when it gives birth, there's usually like a litter? Is Bree gonna give birth to a litter now that she's a werewolf? Would she have given birth to a litter as a human? I have too many questions. I don't read a lot of werewolf smut, obviously, because I didn't know what nodding was. But don't worry, Bree used that to save the world. Anyways, that's kind of all my thoughts. I'm sorry if you can still hear the chopping. Yeah. Join me next time for who knows what I'm gonna read. I'm happy that I filmed this vlog though. It was actually quite fun, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. If you've read these books, I guess comment down below and let me know what you thought. I hope I didn't offend anyone, but also I don't care if I offended anyone, because like, you could have clicked away at any point. Yeah. Okay. See you later.